Just unmute yourself. You
Hare Krishna. We welcome all the devotees. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. We welcome all the devotees for weekly remembrance session of our dear Most Guru Maharaj. Today we will be having our guest Hemangi Mataji. So I will request our guest Hemangi Mataji for introducing her and taking the first session further. Hare Krishna, Prem Manjari Mataji. Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Can you please introduce Mataji and take the session?
Yes. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Bhakti Charu Swami Snekta Supraneta Vadnam Charu Saptam Prabhakana Nandaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Shesha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Hare Krishna Rama Rama Anchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome back to our weekly session of beautiful remembrances of dear Guru Maharaj. Today we have a very sweet devotee. Actually, all the God brothers and God sisters are so sweet. That's the first introduction because Guru Maharaj was so sweet. So many disciples have inherited that quality of sweetness, and Hemangi Mataji is definitely one of them. Hemangi Mataji is the wife of Sunil Mohan Prabhu from South Africa. She's been a very exemplary wife and a mother. Her two daughters are also devotees. They have hosted Guru Maharaj many times at their house. Hemangi has cooked for Guru Maharaj countless occasions. She also mastered that very famous orange cake that Mrinalini used to make and pleased Guru Maharaj by serving him the famous orange cake that Guru Maharaj was very fond of. Hemangi first met Guru Maharaj in 2005. No, she met Guru Maharaj a few years before that. Sorry. She got her first initiation on the 2nd of May 2005 and a second initiation in 2015. By profession, she's an accountant, but Guru Maharaj wanted her to take care of her daughters. So she gave up her profession and she's a full-time homemaker. She's very expert at serving devotees, cooking and serving and taking care of devotees, senior devotees who visit South Africa, regularly go to there. We heard the last time was very instrumental in supporting Guru Maharaj in many of his projects, including Ujjain, which is one of Guru Maharaj's gems, one of his very important contributions to the society. So thank you very much, Hemangi, for agreeing to join us and speak about your remembrances. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I'll start by saying the pranams. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Charu Swami iti namine Sikna Cheta Supranita Vakninam Charu Suparam Prabhupada Tata Prana Naomi Bhakti Charu Padam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami iti namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pashyakti Satarine. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanjani Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sujadevi Prananami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarudascha Kripa Sindhu Revacha Patitanam Pavanevyo Vaishnavevyo Namo Namo. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, and thank you for this opportunity. I want to give my gratitude to Prema Manjari and a wonderful team. And trying to remember, Guru Maharaj has been so emotional, but I will try and try my very best to say something worthy. And I ask for your blessings and I seek your blessings so that I could say something worthy. I'll start by saying that as a young girl, I grew up in Cape Town. It's another city out of Durban. And I would see devotees on the street chanting, and I was very attracted to the devotees. Later on, I married Sunil Mohan Prabhu and relocated to Durban. I used to work in a bank, and one day a devotee by the name of Shailendra, and later on, he became our god brother, and Guru Maharaj gave him the name Shailendranath. He gave me a set of CDs that was Guru Maharaj's. And on this third CD, the last track was the Maha Mantra. And I was driving home from work one day, and I heard Guru Maharaj sing the Maha Mantra. I had to physically stop my car on the side of the road, just absorb the Maha Mantra, and I knew that this is not coming from this world. It was coming from, the spiritual world. And I just started to cry. And I'd never met Guru Maharaj by that time. And then, I just was so drawn by that music. It touched my heart so much. And then little did I realize that I would be soon meeting my eternal spiritual father. In retrospect, I think that all the arrangements were made for me to get the shelter of Guru Maharaj. When Shailendra met me again at the bank, He gave me Jayshree Mataji's number, and she is our senior god sister and the Dharam Patni of His Grace Jagannathan Prabhu. I contacted her and she called me to her home. I went to her home and she explained philosophy, how to cook, how to offer. And I knew Guru Maharaj was staying at her house. I hadn't met Guru Maharaj, that time as well. But she's taught me a lot, and with so many aspects in Krishna conscious that I'm so grateful and I'm so indebted to her. My first darshan with Guru Maharaj was, Sunil explained that last week. We met Guru Maharaj at Prabhanu Prabhu's home, and that's where we had our first darshan, and he gave us the service with Abhay Charan. That's when I also met Manali Mataji and subsequently her husband Surya Narayan Prabhu. They were already initiated by Guru Maharaj and they were doing service for Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj used to live at Jagannathan Prabhu's house, and we used to go there to do service. Both him and Jayshree Mataji are really exemplified how to take care of Guru Maharaj. Prior to moving to our new suburb, Guru Maharaj invited us, we invited Guru Maharaj to our house in Reservoir Hills. We were not initiated by that time, but Guru Maharaj was just so merciful and accepted the invitation. That day, Manali Mataji, she cooked the feast, I made the sweets, and a friend of ours, Mathura Mandala, she made the garland. Guru Maharaj came in with the devotees. We did the foot bathing and Sunil garlanded him. He liked the garland and he commended that this garland is so beautiful. Now, Guru Maharaj wore the garland. He went back to the temple with the garland. There he had a program and he gave the garland to a devotee. That devotee gave it to a Mataji that was going to Mathura's house, not knowing that she had made the garland, and the garland went back to Mathura. The mercy came full circle back to the garland maker. So I just would like to recall that it was like so sweet. Guru Maharaj started staying with us in our new home, and I recall Guru Maharaj always expressed his appreciation for all the arrangements. I've always felt Guru Maharaj was so humble, although he was such a great leader in ISKCON, GBC, leading many projects over the world. Not once did he make us feel that he was unapproachable, nor did he make us feel that stature of his. Whenever he spoke to us, he always had a gentle tone of voice. I'll tell you a little story about my false ego. Guru Maharaj, when he stayed with us, he always had important people in the community, and he would invite them for discussions, for prasad. Once Guru Maharaj was sitting in the lounge and some important guests were with him. We offered them some herbal tea with some cookies, and Guru Maharaj asked for some sugar. Guru Maharaj was praising me with them, and I recall feeling a little proud, and that my false ego became even puffed up. However, immediately that same false ego was smashed because Guru Maharaj said, "Hemangi, this is not sugar, this is salt." My heart just sank and I was so embarrassed. I apologized to Guru Maharaj. He gave his sweet smile. And from that, I've learned that you have to be really very attentive when you do your service. Do it not thinking that you are in charge, and learning not to be proud of any service because it's only by the mercy. Guru Maharaj would often have disciple meetings at home, just like he did at Jayshree Mataji's house, Hemanga Prabhu's house, and Krishna Charan Prabhu's house. it was, when Guru Maharaj was there, it was always like a festival. There were big feasts, cooked up. A tent would have been set up. It was, service upon service. We didn't know what night was. We didn't know what day was. We didn't know what date it was, what day it was. We were just so steeped in service, and it was the most beautiful times of my life. And Guru Maharaj would always speak on he would always speak to the devotees, and they would always eagerly wait for him from his room. He would speak on themes like how we have to take shelter, become more serious in our Krishna conscious, and help local temples, our local temple. Once he asked the assembled disciples if it is true that they only go to the temple when he comes to Durban, emphasizing the point that we should not develop guru camps, but serve under the local authority. Another important theme of Guru Maharaj's lectures was always remember the preeminent Shiksha position of Srila Prabhupada and the founder Acharya of ISKCON. Guru Maharaj would often sing Vaishnava bhajans, explain them to us. He had the ability to take deep philosophical points and explain them in ways that we could understand. My main service to Guru Maharaj in South Africa was to render some service to him, and when he came to stay with us, I was never in the front line. Guru Maharaj would always have meetings with Sunil Prabhu, other devotees, to discuss his projects. I and a few other devotees, that would include Manalini Mataji, she would sometimes take a flight to Durban with Anuradha Mataji, and we would just cook, and Guru Maharaj would have lunch with all the devotees. The house was full of devotees. It was just so beautiful. And Guru Maharaj also instructed us how to cook certain things and how to cut vegetables, not to use a lot of tomatoes in the food. And I'm sure all of us, he would have taught all of us how to cook basmati rice with the 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of water, no salt, and have it simmering on the stove. Sometimes, sorry, Prabhu, my husband will just do the PowerPoint for me so we can show some photos as I'm talking. Okay, and sometimes Guru Maharaj would cook himself. His usual stir fry, cauliflower and broccoli, monk's delight, and bottomless pizza. He would make sure that he cooked a large amount because devotees were coming to visit, and he would ensure that everyone would get some. This was Guru Maharaj's generosity. Whenever anyone would come, he would ask, "So when did you come? And did you take prasadam?" He would ensure that prasadam was served to all the devotees. I felt very happy that Guru Maharaj considered this his home. I, his daughter, him, my father, and he could ask me anything. He was never demanding, and we knew that from his high standards, that he always used to say, everything must be first class. This was an important lesson. He always wanted us to represent ISKCON and Srila Prabhupada properly in what we did, how we cooked, how we dressed, how we spoke, and how we received new people. Guru Maharaj's days were very structured, and he would get up very, very early, chant his japa, attend to his mail or any writings he had to do, go for a morning walk or to the beach, come down and have breakfast, meet with people, and continue his work. He loved homemade bread with marmalade, some avo, some alumi, and later on his breakfast became South Indian. In fact, he taught us all how to love bread with avo. We never knew that could have been so delicious. Only when he introduced us to that did we realize that was such a delicious snack. When he returned from the program, before he retired, he would meet some devotees at home. They would sit and discuss. Then he would have some hot milk with candied sugar. He would retire to his room, and then someone would give him a massage and he would take rest. What I learned about Guru Maharaj's daily programs and meals was never to speculate. It would be best to go to him in the morning, ask him what he would like to eat on that day. Guru Maharaj would tell you, and if he needed anything extra, he would say so. Many times, not only disciples would come to visit, but other devotees as well. Guru Maharaj had a very special relationship with an elderly disciple of His Holiness Giriraj Maharaj by the name of Lokabandhu Prabhu, who is late now. Guru Maharaj was very impressed with Prabhu, as he was a school principal and he kept deities in his office. His daughter and her daughter were always given very special. They would come and they were given special attention by Guru Maharaj. They had this wonderful, friendly, honest nature and would often speak to Guru Maharaj, and he would warmly reciprocate. I think he knew their sincerity. So they would always come whenever Guru Maharaj was there, and they would also cook for Guru Maharaj and be of tremendous assistance to me. Guru Maharaj appreciated their presence and he would thank them for being there. They used to get so ecstatic when Guru Maharaj spoke to them, and just by seeing them, the joy on their faces, it used to be so infectious. I saw how Guru Maharaj dealt with devotees. He didn't distinguish between his disciples and other devotees. And, while I was thinking all this week, I looked at his calendar and this came up on the 4th of October. He said this in Durban, 2019. And you can see what he said, that I learned from Guru Maharaj that everyone who comes to Srila Prabhupada's movement must be treated with love and respect. And this is so true because he's so consistent with this attitude. He said this in the 4th of October, 1992, and he showed it and lived by it. A highlight for me was when Guru Maharaj was writing his Ocean of Mercy. He used to read his draft notes from his computer to a few of us. He would read and explain the context, and he would humbly invite comments. What could we say? Guru Maharaj's proposed book was already so wonderful, and we were all looking forward to the publication. After Guru Maharaj established the Ujjain project, we all went for the opening. I felt that although we knew of Guru Maharaj's greatness, but the Ujjain temple in all its beauty, attention to detail, and the swiftness in which Guru Maharaj completed that, established Guru Maharaj's spiritual position even more to me. Guru Maharaj was divinely empowered, and therefore we had to be very careful with our dealings with Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj always gave an analogy that how the world would come to appreciate Srila Prabhupada in the future. He said that when we are too close to a mountain, we cannot see its greatness. But when we step back or go some distance away, then we can really see its greatness. Similarly, I feel that Guru Maharaj, because he was always with us, we could easily forget his position. Thus, one has to not always be attentive to your own service attitude and not become familiar. Ujjain was such a beautiful, trip for us. And we used to go to Ujjain for Vyasa Pujas, for the seminars. And one time we even met Srila Prabhupada's son. This is him, Guru Maharaj is walking into the hall. And, the arrangements in Ujjain was so first class. I used to always get very excited at the thought of going to Ujjain. I recall feeling that every time I landed at Indore airport, I would feel I was returning to my father's home. Our god brothers and god sisters in Ujjain really imbibed Guru Maharaj's mood and took such good care of us. In Ujjain, I mostly had Guru Maharaj's association through his lectures, kirtan, question and answer. And he would, do these seminars on topics like Ramayana, Mahabharata, Srimad Bhagavatam. He would make it so exciting and bring them to life with these sweet renditions and softening all our hearts. It was also so much of fun. After every evening, we'd go, there'd be a big kirtan in the temple, and then we'll go outside. When we go outside, there was always Guru Maharaj would walk on the bridge from the temple to his room. And before he goes to his room, he would just throw down all these garlands. And it was an absolute euphoric experience to be with Guru Maharaj at that stage. We felt like little children. And one particular incident was quite ecstatic for me. I remember that morning after class, my little daughter Sulakshna came to me and she mentioned to me that Guru Maharaj has the best chadas. And that evening, we was all standing downstairs and Guru Maharaj was throwing all these garlands. And I'll show you a video that with my luck, Guru Maharaj, first time ever, he took his chadar off and he was going to throw the chadar. And I'll show you a little video and you can see what happened that day.
What's here? Huh? He's showing something. My favorite.
Mataji, you can unmute yourself.
And when I got that Chada, Guru Maharaj's Chada, I was so over the moon. I was so happy for days thereafter. I was just so happy. When we came back home to South Africa, I kept the Chada in Guru Maharaj's room. And His Holiness Indradumna Swami also used to come and stay with us. And one day he opened the cupboard and he saw the chada in the cupboard. And then he asked me, whose chada is this? So I told him it's His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami's chada. And he said, can I use it? And I said, yes. And we see from here that Guru Maharaj's god brothers held Guru Maharaj in such high esteem. Sometimes His Holiness Indradumna Swami or sometimes Bibi Govinda Maharaj trips coincided with Guru Maharaj's trips to South Africa. And once His Holiness Indradumna Swami was quite ill and he was hospitalized. During his visit, Guru Maharaj used to visit him in the hospital and used to read to him every day. Guru Maharaj used to, I forget where he was staying, maybe by Hemanga Prabhu's house. And he would come every day and see His Holiness Indradumna Swami and would read to him every day. After discharge, His Holiness Indradumna Swami, he was recuperating at home, and I hardly got to see Guru Maharaj on that particular visit. I wrote to Guru Maharaj explaining that Maharaj is here and I'm taking care of him. And I was apologizing that I was unable to see him. However, he wrote back in a very personal note to me and told me that he was very happy that I took care of his god brother. I learned so much that, from Guru Maharaj, that he had so much of care for others. We know that Guru Maharaj is so multifaceted in his qualities, and that there's so much of him as a spiritual personality. But his appreciation for his god brothers and for devotees was par excellence. I realize how much I have to develop in this regard about caring for others. Many years ago, Guru Maharaj asked me to come to Ujjain and help in a bakery. He wanted to establish a bakery in Ujjain, and he asked me to come and help. I really didn't know why Guru Maharaj was asking me, because since there's so many better bakers and better cooks, as our god sisters. But I obliged and I went, and I used to be in Ujjain. I used to be in the bakery every day, every morning. We would bake something, and in the afternoon, we would take it to Guru Maharaj. Sometimes he liked it, sometimes he didn't. And the flour was not of the best flour available in Ujjain, but Guru Maharaj tried his best to get good flour air freighted from Mumbai. And you can see from here that Guru Maharaj was so meticulous. He had such high standards, and he would always, such high standards when it came to maintain service. I realized that Guru Maharaj was being very merciful to me, to giving me his personal association, just to see how to engage me in some service, although I was not really good at it. Another aspect I really appreciated of Guru Maharaj was his balanced vision. He always encouraged young devotees to complete their studies, or if they were in the corporate world, to finish their careers, have their careers or business and do it properly. He wanted the young and intelligent devotees to represent ISKCON. He knew from his experience that most devotees would become grihastas and therefore they needed to sustain themselves. But he always said, if you want to work and make money, then do it, and do it properly, and do it for Krishna. Should I show the whole PowerPoint now? I'll start from the beginning of the PowerPoint and just discuss a few things. This is our initiation, our merciful Father giving us his shelter. When Guru Maharaj would come, your house used to be full of devotees, and it was just, like I said, a beautiful time of my life. And Guru Maharaj used to be so merciful to the young children, celebrate their birthdays, give them so much of love. And devotees from abroad would come for Guru Maharaj's Vyasa Puja. The one picture at the bottom are some Sura devotees that had come. This is my daughter. I'll tell you a story about this. Guru Maharaj wanted to do a program, and he instructed her. She was so young that she should organize the whole program. And she did organize that program. And as a gift, he gave her a Srila Prabhupada. And this is my other daughter. You can see Guru Maharaj is also so happy, and we are also happy to always have him with us. This is him cooking, teaching me, telling me things. And this is beautiful Ujjain with so many devotees, and the seminars, the Vyasa Pujas. And this is with these God brothers. I'd like to close off and reflect on my good fortune. Even, how was it even possible for someone like me to reach so much of mercy and association from the Lord's pure devotee? I know from scripture that Guru Maharaj's instructions, his Vani, is so much more important than his physical presence, his Vapu. However, I cannot help and miss the days that were full of his association. Our homes feel empty now without his visits, and I have no use beyond his service. Guru Maharaj's visits used to be so much of fun. There was festivals. We used to be busy with service, and we, felt his presence all over in the home. We miss him calling our names to check out on arrangements and personally instructing us. He used to give the most beautiful kirtans, his classes, and just being with us. I pray to Guru Maharaj, and to all of the assembled Vaishnavas to please bless me so that I can continue serving Guru Maharaj through his Vani, his beloved Srila Prabhupada, and the Vaishnavas. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Hemangi, for your sweet remembrances. I'd like to ask devotees if they have any questions or comments to make to ask Hemangi. Please raise your hand. Hemangi, while the devotees are gathering their thoughts, I'd like to ask you, did he give you any specific instructions on raising your children and about your Grihastha ashram?
you see, my children were very young, and Guru Maharaj, they were very blessed because they received a lot of mercy and a lot of love from them. I don't know, he didn't personally tell me about, the kids, but I don't know. My children, they study in another city, both of them. They are devotees. They know Krishna as their Lord and Master. They do a little, puja in the mornings. But I don't know, I think I heard Guru Maharaj tell another devotee that our children, we shouldn't put pressure on them in any way, just to, give them their wings, let them fly and let them discover, make mistakes. And, and hopefully they will, remember what they've been brought up with.
Did Guru Maharaj ever teach you? I mean, Guru Maharaj taught you cooking? He taught you a few dishes?
Yes, sometimes he, like say if we made some things, he taught us how to do the stir fry, the bottomless pizza, the monk's delight. And he would tell us if, like give us ideas like, asparagus soup. He would say you should add some broccoli to that, boil it up and then blend it. Don't purely, use asparagus. And, things like that. And sometimes he would, comment on who cooked this and compliment that person. But Guru Maharaj was just so appreciative of anything you do for him.
Did you make any new dishes? Did you try new things and serve Guru Maharaj? I mean, did he like any things that you?
Yeah, we used to, try new things, but what we knew is that, Anuradha, our senior god sister, she would come and she used to cook for Guru Maharaj in the early days a lot. And we used to keep, focus on what he liked then. And we kept that theme going on, in his prasad. Simple, maybe one opulent thing, things like that.
Did you make pizza for Guru Maharaj?
No, but I can tell you one time we did have a pizza party, and that was when Mataji was here. It was morning breakfast pizza with hot pizzas coming. Guru Maharaj was in a meeting, and when he came up with all these devotees and the hot pizzas were just going out, it was, I remember that clearly.
So now, how do you, in your all your years of service, what is one instruction that you can give us that will definitely please Guru Maharaj? What is something we should do that will definitely please Guru Maharaj?
I now that he's not here, he always told us to become very serious in our Krishna conscious. And that's how I live my life now. I push forward, and I live my life and hoping that he will be happy with my progress until I meet him again. That's how I go about my days now.
When Guru Maharaj stayed at your house, did you all used to sometimes chant japa with Guru Maharaj? Or Guru Maharaj would get up very early in the morning and chant his rounds?
No, he would get up very early and chant his rounds. 2:30, 2 o'clock, 2:30, that's the time he would be chanting.
Did you feel a difference in the way Guru Maharaj dealt with you and with Sunil Maha? Because I always found Guru Maharaj was, Guru Maharaj came from a very cultured family. It was very aristocratic. So with his female disciples, I always felt he was very gentle and very, he never gave us the sauce, so to speak, like he did to his male disciples. Did you have that experience?
Yes, that is so true. He spoke in a very gentle voice to me.
Did you ever get the source from Guru Maharaj?
Not really, but I know one time Guru Maharaj came from India and he was not well. And he, I think, had a little bit of diarrhea. And he was eating only, grated cabbage mixed with mayonnaise on a sandwich. He didn't say anything to me, but I could make out that he wasn't feeling well. He wasn't his usual self. And I never went to any programs. I just sat at home and I just prayed and I just chanted, for him to feel better. It was really a daunting time for me. I remember I just sat on my sofa and I just prayed and chanted just for him to get better, because it was really not a nice feeling that he wasn't well.
Can you share some sweet pastimes like this? Some more exchanges with Guru Maharaj, personal exchanges?
When he was here, he was with all of us all the time. The house was full of devotees. And, I can't say any little time that I was with Guru Maharaj was the best time of my life. Whether it was serving him, whether it was running after him with a bag or something, those were just the best times of my life. Sorry? Oh, yes. And every time, Guru Maharaj would leave Durban, we'll all go to the airport, a few devotees, we'll just make a corner, take a space in the airport, and Guru Maharaj will, talk to us, take photos. He always gave us that last of himself before he got onto the plane.
Sunil Mohan Prabhu, would you like to share some exchanges also?
Guru Maharaj was really super sweet to us, and it was really, as I said last week, the thing that attracted me a lot to Guru Maharaj was, we are up until then we had lived in the material world where it was hustle bustle, dog eat dog, and then you meet a personality like Guru Maharaj, which is diametrically opposite in terms of his personality, in terms of his dealings, and that was a huge attracting factor. I remember the time when I saw him in the temple for the first time. When we went for the first program, and I walked into the temple room. I was obviously not a devotee. Both Hemangi and we walked in there, and I just could not believe the ambience of the temple on that particular day. And there was this personality speaking philosophy that I never heard before, or only heard spatterings of it, being a so-called Hindu. And what struck me was the devotees were so awestruck with this personality. And then I realized at that point that Guru Maharaj was not somebody ordinary. And it was that time that I said to myself, I've just got to meet this person, and yet you've got to understand what his teaching is all about, and that sort of thing, And so that first meeting with Guru Maharaj is probably what started the whole process of my spiritual life. And it as I mentioned last week, when I was doing my undergraduate degree at the University of Durban, where I did a BSc degree, and of course I was very, very poor at that time. My father had died young, and my mother was looking after me. So we should try and save every cent, and I should try and save my lunch money, because I should see these people, these devotees brought prasadam to the temple. I mean to the university. So I used to go there, and that's how I met the devotees. And I remember I started chanting 1 round a day in those days, just to try it out, after listening to what they had to say about all of this. And then I went to medical school, and I lost contact with devotees. And of course, it was only about 6 or 7 years later that after Hemangi and I got married that we came into contact with Guru Maharaj again. And the thing that I learned out of that was that when Krishna, when you take 1 step to Krishna, as Guru Maharaj used to say, Krishna will take 1,000 steps towards you. Krishna never forgot me, and he made sure he came for me, and he sent Guru Maharaj to get me. That's what I can remember about that. Thank you.
So many loving memories, Guru Maharaj. I remember even when you all came to Mayapur, Guru Maharaj always had so much time for you all. So many beautiful memories of taking prasad in Guru Maharaj's rooms.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Hemangi, Sunil Mohan Prabhu. I don't see any hands. Do I see? Oh, Mrinalini. Oh, Mrinalini is here. Hare Krishna, Mrinalini. You have a comment, please. Let me unmute you.
Yep. Hare Krishna, Prema. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Hemangi and Sunil Prabhu. I just want to make a comment, actually. Knowing Sunil Mohan Prabhu and Hemangi for so many years now, it's been such a pleasure to have always served Guru Maharaj in their association. It was just, I felt I was at my own home, serving Guru Maharaj. It was so beautiful, so peaceful. And, I remember that time that Hemangi is talking about that Guru Maharaj was sick, with diarrhea coming from India. I was there, it was Janmashtami time, and I remember taking her car and going to Mangalarti while the both of them were at home, because I know Guru Maharaj didn't go for Mangalarti, but he gave class that morning. And he gave such an amazing class, and I think we both ended up, I'm not sure, coming in at the same time or something, and then I met Guru Maharaj in the passage, and I complimented him on such a lovely class. And yes, I tell you, they went out of their way with all their hearts to serve Guru Maharaj. It was a festival every time Guru Maharaj was there, and the mood was just amazing. You never felt like you never felt welcomed. You just felt it was home, and you felt engaged. You needed to do something to serve. Yeah, that I remember so clearly. And that one morning, I remember, I think it was that same time that Guru Maharaj was not well. It was just the 3 of us that morning, Hemangi, Sunil Mohan, and myself. And normally Sunil Mohan would be serving Guru Maharaj breakfast. That morning, Guru Maharaj said to Sunil Mohan, he says, Sunil, you join me today. You sit. He says, no, Guru Maharaj, I'll serve you. And then he says, no, let them do it. They will serve us for Hemangi and myself. So anyway, Guru Maharaj was so comfortable in their home. It was home. I mean, that was just my feeling and my, feeling Guru Maharaj's presence in their home. He was so comfortable, and just having him walk there so gracefully everywhere. You just never know when Guru Maharaj was going to pop up from where, And they have a huge home. They have a huge, huge home. So from the passage, his room is way back in the passage up there, upstairs, and their bedroom's on one end. Then he comes downstairs. You never know where he's going to just show up, But it was always so beautiful, transcendental. And that morning, I think, I'm not sure if it was that morning where Guru Maharaj told me, let me cut the bread. Let me show you how to slice it. And I thought, okay, But yes, it was always so beautiful, Prema. It was really very, very sweet. And I don't know how Hemangi did it. I don't have the health anymore for like good few years. And I kept telling her, take care of your health. And even, Jayashri for that matter, it takes a toll she's really also served Guru Maharaj so intensely, closely. And they've all done so much. But yes, Hemangi and Sunil Mohan, there wasn't a day or a moment that you would say that, it felt otherwise. They were so blissful, so blissful. It was like, from the bottom of the garage with the burners on there, the gas stoves, to right up to the entrance where Guru Maharaj would arrive. It would be a full-on celebration. That's my beautiful memories of Sunil Mohan and Hemangi's home. So we all miss it. I don't even know how they manage it. I always tell Hemangi, she has such beautiful memories. She should just hold them close to her heart, and Sunil Mohan. Sunil Mohan didn't, we speak of Guru Maharaj's beautiful qualities, and Sunil has imbibed so much of those beautiful qualities of Guru Maharaj, like as he's so open-hearted, Guru Maharaj, and he doesn't see, who he's ever so loving and giving to everybody, like this camps of guru-disciple camps. Guru Maharaj just completely despised that. And Sunil Mohan's the same. Sunil Mohan's just the same, and Hemangi. They will invite everyone to their home, and Sunil Mohan takes care of Indradumna Swami and Bibi Govinda Swami like they were his very own spiritual master. I mean, I've seen it firsthand. I'm somehow there always, somehow I'm there. At some point, not all the days, but at some point I'm there, and I'm always seeing, and I know how Indradumna Swami and Govinda Swami appreciates him and love him so dearly, just because the way they serve, And Hemangi has done it tirelessly, not even just Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj, I think she's done it with complete ecstasy, because there's so much of other disciples helping. But when the Indradumna Swami was sick for a long time, he stayed there. And it was really tough, but she really did very well, with the help, I think, of one of Indradumna Swami's disciples. Yes, so I'm so grateful to know them. And I love the friendship Sunil Mohan and Surya Narayan shared. I hold it very dear to my heart. I wish you knew them then, Hemangi. Prema. It was so sweet. It's so sweet. It was so special. It was so sweet. The night before, if I might share with you, the night before Surya left, his heart was bent on meeting Sunil Mohan. And he drove to their home. But unfortunately, Sunil Mohan was still at the hospital on his rounds, and we never got to meet Sunil Mohan. And the next day he left. So yeah, they're very lovely, lovely, lovely devotees. And they still go on serving devotees and gurus in their home. So I just pray that Krishna give them the strength to go on doing this blissful service. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me, Sunil Mohan and Hemangi, to always welcome me into your home to serve and make me feel so much like my own. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji, and thank you for everything that you've done. I feel so much of love and appreciation for you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji. You embarrassed me by saying all these things, but I just want to say that, in the early days, both you and Surya Narayan Prabhu had played such a huge role in getting us involved in Krishna consciousness, getting to know Guru Maharaj. And Prema, Manani Mataji and Surya Narayan Prabhu served Guru Maharaj fantastically well as well. They hosted him in their home in Percy Osborne Road, I remember, on many occasions. And Surya Narayan Prabhu did a lot of service. In the early days when Guru Maharaj was trying to build up his Rama Bab business, Surya Narayan Prabhu was meticulous, and he worked day and night trying to get the wrappers done and all of that. And I can tell you something, and a very sad that I didn't meet him on the night he came to visit me. That was the night before he left. But the following day when he left, I'll tell you that Surya Narayan Prabhu was on the phone trying his utmost to do to distribute Abhay Charan, and he was busy talking and selling Abhay Charan video to somebody. He was on the phone the very minute that he left his body. So, he's guaranteed to go back, and Guru Maharaj will give him special mercy. Suryanarayan Prabhu was an exceptional devotee, and I remember first meeting him, and when he sold Hemangi those Guru Maharaj's cassettes. In those days, it was those 4-track cassettes, and he went from house to house distributing those, because that was Suryanarayan's service, and he took it to heart. He was an exceptional devotee, and I'm so happy to have met him, and it was through him. He was one of the conduits through which I got to meet Guru Maharaj. Nani Machi, thank you so much.
Sunil Mohan, I must just say one thing here to end off, is that, you made a statement just now saying that you started to chant, and because of that chanting, Krishna got you, right?
Yeah,
so that one sincere step you took forward, and look at the amount of mercy, the service came your way in such abundance of mercy.
Yeah.
Because you are a sincere soul, both of you. And
Yeah,
so I know you won't change, and that's a guarantee. So I feel so wonderful knowing you, the both of you as well. Thank you. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
I want to add to that. Guru Maharaj also gave us so many loving God brothers and God sisters, that it's so beautiful to see the loving relationships there are. And South Africa was always when Guru Maharaj came, it was like a festival. It was so beautiful to be, in so many different devotees' houses, and everyone going, and everyone was always welcome, and the prasadam and the kirtans and the, it was such a festival, at least when I was there. And it's obviously, even seeing from the way all of you, the loving relationships, it's just so Guru Maharaj, isn't it?
Yeah, it was so lovely in the 90s, Prema, when you were there, in the early 90s. Yeah, it was
So
really
nice.
sweet.
Guru Maharaj had a special affliction for South Africa. He always said it whenever he arrived. He said, "I'm so happy to come to be here in South Africa." He had so many wonderful disciples. I see Jamna Das Prabhu is also here. Guru Maharaj just loved Jamna Das Prabhu so much. Jamna Das Prabhu and Guru Maharaj were the same age, and he had a special love for Jamna Das. Jamna Das Prabhu, I can say, helped Guru Maharaj tremendously in all his projects. And I remember the time when Guru Maharaj was building the Ujjain project, and Jamna Das Prabhu actually paid for the 3 domes of the temple. A lot of people don't know that, but Jamna Das Prabhu paid for the domes, and and that was not all. Jamna Das Prabhu literally worked to provide for Guru Maharaj's projects, and there was such great service, and Guru Maharaj really was so grateful to him and appreciated that.
Yes, Jamna Das supported him for years and years. Yes. Always, without any question, he would always just support Guru Maharaj's projects. Very, very much, very, like he was like a backbone, a pillar.
Yes.
It's very, all of you, even you, Sunil Mohan Prabhu, so many devotees don't know how much you have done, how much you have supported Guru Maharaj. There was a hand up, I think Ishwari.
Ishwari Radhika Mataji.
Ishwari Radhika Mataji. Could you unmute yourself? I am asking you to unmute.
Hare Krishna, all the devotees. Hare Krishna, Hemangi Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. I'm actually very insignificant to speak here in front of such exalted devotees like you. I actually could not restrict myself, and just I had raised my hand to actually get to hear something from you. So I just raised up my hand because, well, I don't have such beautiful and plenty of experiences with Guru Maharaj as you had. Very few I had personal exchanges with Guru Maharaj. But yes, he was indeed ocean of mercy that he had been merciful on a such insignificant and fallen like me. But here, what I wanted to actually ask you is that one of the questions already Premamanjari Mataji had asked, I wanted to ask that how can we please Guru Maharaj? And you somewhat answered that as well. Uh, Another question, I do not even know the limits of your qualities, which I got a glimpse of by listening from other devotees that you are a wonderful devotee. I do not know you personally, but I got this opportunity to uh, hear something from you, and I'm feeling glad about it. Actually, I wanted, I just two questions came to my mind. If you would allow me, I would like to ask you. First is from the way you were appreciating other devotees since the beginning of the class, I could understand that you are yourself a wonderful devotee. I just wanted to ask you that how can we develop this attitude of appreciating other devotees? This was my first question. And the second question is somewhat related to what Manjari Mataji had asked about pleasing Guru Maharaj. As I have not got much of, as I said, much of Bapu association of Guru Maharaj. It's only his vanis that I hold close to my heart, and I try to follow them. So while following his instructions, now that he's not in front of us right now, I mean, we cannot see him through mundane eyes, but though he's always with us. What should we be careful about while following his instructions? What would please him most? Like for me, I am nothing. So what would please him according to you? If you could just enlighten me something on this. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. I think we are all nothing, in front of Guru Maharaj. But when we realize other devotees' greatness and, their love, and we are so small, and that's when we start appreciating devotees, because we are all nothing. We have to, that's our mood. We are insignificant. We are so small. We are, nobody. And then that's when we start loving them, appreciating them. And that's how we go about life. I
Thank
hope
you so much,
that
Mataji.
helps you a little bit.
Yes, I can understand because I am absolutely in that position of nothing and insignificant. So I can understand that.
I'm also in, that position. I'm also insignificant, nothing. But I recognize the greatness in others, and that's how you should go about also, that you are unique in your own way, and you appreciate and, love other devotees.
Thank you so much, Mataji. And if you could just tell me a little bit, how can I, in my position, or we in general, how can we please Guru Maharaj now, from the position we are here now? How can what would please Guru Maharaj? Because you know him much better way than me, at least. So what would please
I think
Guru Maharaj?
we got to read a lot. We got to listen, and we got to really work on our chanting. That will please him so much.
Thank you
and
so much,
never and always be in the association of devotees and never leave ISKCON.
Thank you so much, Mataji. I would just tell one thing. When I got initiation, I heard Guru Maharaj saying all the other disciples never leave ISKCON, but he did not tell me this. So I was thinking, he asked me regulated principles around everything, but he did not tell me never leave ISKCON. So maybe so many years after, he had the plan that my disciple Hemangi Mataji will tell Ishwari Radhika someday that never leave ISKCON. So this, I will take this as Guru Maharaj's instruction, because it is almost as good as hearing from Guru Maharaj, because you are so dear to Guru Maharaj. I'll keep this as Guru Maharaj's instructions, never leave this. Thank you so much, Mataji. I was sure that you would answer very nicely, as your nature is. I'm absolutely very, very insignificant and nothing, absolutely new to everything here. I just know few devotees here, otherwise I have just heard of your names, and it's a great fortune for me to see you today and hear from you, get answers from you. Please pray for me, Mataji, so that I can be able to serve Guru Maharaj and all the devotees always, and try to follow Guru Maharaj's instructions, because I have not been able to do anything till now. Please pray for me. Please be merciful on me so that I can be able to follow Guru Maharaj's instructions and serve devotees like you. Hope to meet you someday in person, Mataji. I'll be aspiring to meet you someday in person. Please,
Me too.
I can
I
just
hope
tell
to meet you soon. And are you from Ujjain?
Mataji, I'm from West Bengal, India. It is near Panihati. My house is near
Okay.
Panihati, ISKCON Panihati. Please come to Panihati someday, Mataji. We'll be glad to serve you here. Panihati is Vaishnav Seva Dham, and we'll be happy to receive you here.
Yes, I've been there. It's so beautiful, and I'll be happy to meet you, and we can do some nice service together.
Yes, Mataji. My life will be successful to serve under your guidance. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you to all the devotees for arranging these beautiful sessions, actually. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Ishwari.
Prema Manjari Mataji.
Thank you, Ishwari. Sunil Mohan Prabhu, just one thing I remembered, you know how you were saying how Guru Maharaj was very fond of coming to South Africa?
Yes.
Yeah. So when I was in South Africa, we all knew Guru Maharaj loved South Africa. But because we were in Cape Town, we thought Guru Maharaj loved Cape Town the most, even more than Durban. When I came back to Mayapur, I would think, no, Guru Maharaj loves to come to Mayapur the most, you know. Guru Maharaj, Mayapur, this is Guru Maharaj's, you know, Guru Maharaj loves Mayapur temple the most. And, you know, even after Guru Maharaj physically disappeared, for me, it was always because Guru Maharaj, for me, resides eternally in Mayapur, you know. Guru Maharaj joined there, Guru Maharaj served Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj came to Samadhi in Mayapur. Then when I went to Ujjain this time, I was thinking, no, Guru Maharaj resides in Mayapur eternally. Mayapur. Then when I went to Ujjain, I was thinking, oh my God, you know, you feel Guru Maharaj's presence, you feel his magic in the devotees there. So Guru Maharaj had this amazing ability to make everyone feel most loved. You know,
As I mentioned last week, Prema, that Guru Maharaj made every single person, whether you're a disciple or not, feel as if you're the only person that he knows. He had the ability to make each disciple feel that they're most important and the only disciple. I always say that, and I don't know. It's a special personality that can do that. It's a special quality that Guru Maharaj had, and wherever he went, it is that quality that attracted people to Guru Maharaj. You know, whether it was his singing, whether it was philosophy, whether in whatever dealings he had with people just had the special attraction to him, and that was multifaceted. Qualities that Krishna had Krishna had given him, and Guru Maharaj knew how to use that quality that he had, and he used to good effect. And look at the result after all these years. People just love him, and as time goes, since he's left this planet, Guru Maharaj will become a legend. They always talk about people becoming a legend after they leave. And you'll see the same thing will happen with Guru Maharaj. Years from now, people will talk about His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami, about the projects he had left, about the impact that he's had on people in this world. The fact that he was able to translate all Prabhupada's work into Bengali, that in itself will be a milestone in West Bengal and people that are fluent with Bengali. I mean, this was a huge impact that Guru Maharaj had created. He was obviously not an ordinary person. He was sent to this planet as part of Srila Prabhupada's entourage. And we are beginning to see all of this now. And I think, Prema, I must thank you for setting up these remembrances, because obviously this is what will remind us of who Guru Maharaj is and the personality he is. Thank you.
Oh, it's not me, Sunil Mohan Prabhu, it's the Ujjain devotees. I'm just part of their team. But
Yeah,
tell me one thing, Sunil Mohan Prabhu. One, when we talk about Guru Maharaj's legacy,
yes.
What in your heart you feel is one of the main, one of the main aspects of Guru Maharaj? For me, I would like to share with you what I feel is Guru Maharaj's main legacy. Maybe because I'm married to a small manager in ISKCON.
Yeah.
Yes, Guru Maharaj's translation, that's like phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
The amount of translation, Guru Maharaj, all of Prabhupada's books.
Yeah.
Then you have Abhay Charan, you have Ujjain Temple. But for me, Guru Maharaj's prime, the most significant aspect of his legacy is bringing and keeping everyone in ISKCON and putting Prabhupada in the center. I have not heard any other leader emphasize Prabhupada, loyalty, Prabhupada, ISKCON. Wham, wham, bam. And I used to really, before, when I used to be in Mayapur, I was saying, why does Guru Maharaj always come around to this? I mean, how many times do we have to hear it? It's like, we've heard it, Guru Maharaj. Yes, we know. But, when you see the challenges, Guru Maharaj was even offered by one of Prabhupada's, I don't know if you know this, you probably do. Guru Maharaj was offered by Srila Maharaj, as Madhavendra mentioned, refreshed our memories.
Yeah, no, Prema, that was Guru Maharaj's special mercy. He was able to get people together. And Guru Maharaj, as I said last week as well, Guru Maharaj had this massive projects like Abhay Charan, the Bengali project, the ISKCON project. The ISKCON project alone will, around that ISKCON project, the Ujjain project will stand on its own for decades, millennia to come. And but the one thing that the Guru Maharaj told me this, that the one thing that will stand out as far as his contribution to this to ISKCON was the book that he was involved in, in terms of positioning Srila Prabhupada as the founder and Acharya of this movement and the preeminent guru of this era. So that book, placing Guru Maharaj's the position statement was he considered that to be his most important project, his most important contribution to ISKCON. So it's amazing, something that we think is just a run-of-the-mill thing that should have been written in any case, but Guru Maharaj thought that to be his most important contribution.
Yes. Because even with the whole Ritvik thing, Guru Maharaj, I remember him being so like, this is nonsense. But at the same time, every time it comes to a settlement, with Madhavan, the Ritviks, he's always been also soft to bring them back. It's like two opposites going, like bringing them back to Prabhupada and Prabhupada's position. It's taking both apparently contradictory stands, but in the end, it's always about it's all Prabhupada's, they all belong to Prabhupada, this is Prabhupada's, as we say in Hindi, Sampatti, this everything belongs to Prabhupada. It doesn't belong to anybody else. So
that became a standing joke as well, that between Swarup Damodar Prabhu and me, Swarup Damodar says, your Guru Maharaj sometimes sounds like a Ritvik himself.
Yes, he was one of the softest, on the GBC things. Like every time there's a settlement, my Prabhu is always like, your Guru Maharaj is always the most accommodating. And sometimes, you wonder. It's really, really wonderful. I'm so looking forward to all of you coming to Mayapur, and
Yeah, we can't wait. We can't wait until India allows us in again.
Yeah, I know.
yes. Any other questions or comments? Smita Krishna Prabhu, would you like to make any comment? So many devotees are commenting
Jamnadas
on.
Prabhu is there. Maybe Jamnadas Prabhu can say a few words.
Oh, you know, he's supposed to. Sri Krishna Prabhu, can you send me Jamnadas Prabhu's number, and I will. Jamnadas Prabhu, Hare Krishna. I will send him. You know, you have to do a session. I will send you a date, and if you could please speak.
Prema,
Yes.
Prema? Prabhu's name is Jamuna Acharya.
Oh, sorry,
Yes.
Jamuna Prabhu. I'm so terrible.
Yeah, no problem.
Sorry, I'm not sure. But you know, you're one of the heroes in our family. You know, we've heard about you since we were born, how you were always standing behind Guru Maharaj. So, Sunil Mohan Prabhu, please send me Jamunacharya Prabhu's number, and we can arrange the day for him.
Okay.
Any other comments? Smita Krishna Prabhu, would you like to comment? Yes, Smita Krishna Prabhu.
I'm just at the temple now, so listening to this, I'm going to go into the temple and do a class from there just now.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it's very touching. Firstly, sorry, my obeisances to all the devotees. Yeah, it was very emotional also to recall and listen to Hemangi Maharaji's classes today, because we were part of all of those events with Guru Maharaj at their home. And by the mercy of Sunil Mohan Prabhu and Hemangi Maharaji, we were able to get the opportunity to be there and serve, because they always facilitated service. Anybody could come and serve. Guru Maharaj, house was open. Anybody who wants to come and do some service, they were welcome to do that. And there's a lot of memories for me with service to Guru Maharaj there as well. And as I explained in previous, he had Guru Maharaj would be able to understand the heart of different devotees and engage them accordingly. So he had his group of devotees who were involved with his projects, and he would have other devotees who would assist him with his personal things, like, getting his clothes sorted in the room, ironing, cooking for him. And you'd engage everybody expertly according to their natures. And one of the memories for me at Sri Mohan Prabhu's house, because it was a very integral service for me, that Guru Maharaj gave me the opportunity to edit his Ocean of Mercy. And that's where Guru Maharaj used to read his book, as Hemangi Mantra pointed out, to read and ask our opinions. And he was very happy to actually share that with us. And sometimes I got a feeling like Guru Maharaj had reading and presenting, but he's like a schoolboy type of mood, presenting his project. He would be proud, not in an arrogant way, proud of speaking about Srila Prabhupada. At the same time, kind of shy about presenting his book, that taking on the role of a writer, as a writer.